Hi, my name is Otis Grigsby, and um, I'm a member of the Minnesota Vikings. And I'm telling you this because I want to use that to help raise awareness towards something that recently happened to my family and to a family member of mine. My uncle, Lernard Grigsby, and we call him Sandy, recently um, was murdered by an Illinois state police officer. Um, he they responded to a a domestic call, and basically they wanted him to do something that he didn't want to do, which was come outside, and he wanted them to come in, and they dragged him outside. They beat him, and there's evidence of this because he had internal bleeding that was not from what happened next. They beat him, and when he fought back, the other one shot him in his back, shot him multiple times. My uncle was unarmed and unable to defend himself from gunshots, just like anyone else. And somehow he actually made it to the hospital and actually had a chance to survive. And honestly, I really thought that he was going to survive. I thought that he he would make it. You know, but eventually, that didn't work out. But I part of why I feel like I need to say something and to air out my business, my personal business, is that this is not a problem. This is not an issue that just hits my family. It's an issue that hits so many people. These things happen so many times. And if you actually pay attention to what's going on in your cities around you, these things do happen. And it needs to stop. These things happen, and people who do this, they get away with it. And there's no way that they should. Someone who shoots another man in his back, who is defenseless and unarmed, should not walk this earth a free man, period. It just shouldn't happen. Um, I'm not for the death penalty, but you shouldn't be allowed to enjoy freedom. You shouldn't be allowed to experience life. I mean, this is a privilege. This society that we live in. It's not your right to do anything just because someone gave you a badge and a gun. It's not your right. You don't have a right to do that. And that's basically what I'm trying to say. I'm trying to speak out. I'm trying to speak out against an article that I read in the Chicago Tribune that really is amazingly flawed and ridiculous. And it shows that basically these people don't earn their paychecks. Because if they did, then they would have actually asked questions besides reading a bogus police report. They would have actually did some research. They would actually try to find out why a correctional officer who works at a prison, whose job is to keep prisoners in line, who lives on the grounds, why would this person be a person who would actually just haul off and hit an officer that's at their door? No one in their right mind would do that. And if that were even the case, which is not, why would it be necessary to shoot that person? I think we're all aware that multiple ways to stop someone. I mean, taser would be an idea. Baton would be an idea. Well, I mean, whatever your idea is, the bottom line is my uncle was clearly beyond. He was provoked beyond measure. I mean, the issue here is he defended himself like any person would. No one's going to sit there and continue to take a beating. I wouldn't. This can happen to you. This can happen to anybody. It doesn't matter who you are. It doesn't matter if you know, if you're a student, if you're a dad, a mom, whatever. It doesn't matter, because there's people out there who feel like they have this right, and as a people, as Americans, as mothers, as fathers, as sons, daughters, sisters, and brothers, it's our duty to make sure that this doesn't happen. I mean, I know this world's not perfect, but it would be a horrible thing if nothing was learned from this. No one learned anything from this. No one gained anything from this. And if the people responsible for this were not punished appropriately, I again, I'm not stating any of this for to ask. I'm not asking for pity. My uncle, he was a very good man. He loved the Lord. He is in heaven right now, and he was a good man, and he lived his life. His time was up, and while I may be mad about it, there has to be more to the way it went down, and there has to be more associated with that, other than just well, he just got shot and killed by some police officers. There's got to be something that comes out of this other than that. I can't see why God would take somebody unless there was a reason for it. And to me right now, my reason and what I'm clinging to, and what I hope a whole lot of other people out here cling to, is that this needs to stop. This needs to stop. It needs to stop with people put in prison for things that they didn't do, people executed for things that they didn't do. This needs to stop. And the only way it stops is if people speak out about it. The only way it stops is if people talk about it, if people ask questions. Why? Instead of just looking at an article and saying, that's kind of peculiar. Why? Ask why. Please. The only thing I ask anybody who watches this video is to just repost this. I don't care. Repost a link, embed it anywhere, wherever you can. Send it to whoever you want to. But don't just look at this video and just move on. Now, I understand if you don't know how to do it, then that's fine. But please, I really, really would like your help. And that's pretty much, that's all I've got. So I thank you for your time, and God bless.